Support for Radio Friends comes from Columbia Healthy Smiles, the dental office of husband and wife team Dr. Batson and Dr. Abe, offering comprehensive and customized care to patients of all ages. Learn more by calling 573-721-9039 or online at www.columbiahealthysmiles.com. Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Wednesday, April the 14th. We are going to talk about something today called the Human Library. And I think it was about a month and a half or so ago we did a segment on this. And I want to introduce you to Lauren Williams, who is with the Columbia Public Library. Good to have you here, Lauren.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us, first of all, what is the Human Library?
Okay, so the Human Library, this is an event that we are sponsoring with Services for Independent Living and the Library. It is just one of the many experiences that we've planned for this year as part of Boone County's Journey Toward Inclusive Excellence. But the Human Library itself is a type of event that's been happening for over 20 years. It started in Denmark, and it's a conversation-based event between volunteer books and small groups of readers, and it's all about, the tagline is unjudge someone. So it's all about challenging people's biases and stereotypes around certain stigmatized groups of people.
And what are some of the topics that you have covered? So how many of these have you done?
So we've done two. Our third is coming up on April 18th. So some of the titles of our books have been a person in a wheelchair, someone who's non-binary, Black male, veteran, American Muslim. So we have people who their book title is based on their vocation or an ethnic identity or a social identity. So
have they actually written a book, or are you calling it a book title because they're talking about what they do?
It's the second. So we're calling them a book because they're like a reference book for the readers to check out, and they are able to ask any question that they want. It's a safe space to have a conversation and ask those questions. Maybe you don't have a person with a disability in your life, and you want to know what's okay to ask, or you want to know how it's affected them, or what was school like for them, or what is working a job like for a person in a wheelchair. And so it is a safe place to ask those questions and to get to know that person as a person.
Do you have more than one guest, or it is only one guest for each Human Library?
So we ideally we have 2 or 3 readers per book, and it kind of it creates it's more. I think it's more comfortable, although some people we've done one-on-one conversations and they found that very impactful to have, to hear the experiences of a single person in a very kind of intimate way.
Now, today we are going to meet a pastor, a woman pastor, Lucia Oerter. Good morning, Lucia.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure. Now, you are a pastor, right?
I am a pastor, yes.
What is the message that you want to get across to people in the Human Library and our listeners and viewers today about being a pastor and being a woman?
Yeah, so being a pastor, especially if you're on an airplane and somebody says, "What do you do?" and I say, "I'm a pastor," they will often either tell me everything they've done in their life that was not so good, or they will totally not talk to me. So there's an immediate labeling if you hear the word pastor that I am somehow going to be judging a person or using scripture to knock you over the head to believe a particular thing. And so I want to debunk that label that people have, and so they can see that we are just people trying to get to know others better and help them sort out the God stuff or the higher power stuff in their lives.
So would you say that is the biggest misconception that most people have when they talk to a pastor?
Yes. They want you to often describe the scripture in a way that they can understand that it's been used to call out someone. That's usually one of the tasks. The other piece is being just a woman as a pastor. If I say I work at the church, they assume that I'm the Christian educator or the children's director or something else before they believe that I'm a pastor for 350 people by myself.
Yeah. So how do you relate to that then? When somebody looks at you and say, "You're a pastor?"
Yeah, so usually I ask them about what their how they have known a pastor in their life, where they have understood a pastor most, where they've had a conversation. Have they had a good experience, or has it been a difficult experience? And to help them find out where that beginning place is for both of us to meet.
Yeah.
And be open to what they teach me.
And a lot of times I think when people think of a pastor or a priest or a rabbi, you're kind of holding them up on a pedestal there. But you're people just like we are. And I'm sure that you want to be treated just like we do.
Yeah, we could use that. Anytime you want to draw that card, you could, I suppose. I mean, I get to sit in places of prestige if I go somewhere, but I like to just sit with the people incognito so they don't know what I am. I can get to know them as people first.
All right.
And part of the reason that I do the Human Library is to get in those conversations and help people ask the questions they would want to ask of a pastor if they were sitting next to them, and help them know that it's okay to ask a pastor questions, especially if you have struggles going on.
Yeah. So you will be answering all of these questions during the Human Library, and this will be a Zoom event.
Yes.
When will this be, Lauren?
So this is Sunday, April 18th, from 1 to 3 p.m.
Okay, so this coming Sunday, April the 18th, 1 to 3 p.m. How many different guests will you have?
So we have, I believe we've got 12 different books. So we've got plenty of room for people to be readers with those 12 different books.
Yeah, okay. It's really interesting. Is there anything else that you want to add, Pastor Lucia?
The Human Library is the most awesome experience to be able to be with people, and you're not being judged and you're not judging the book, and you just get to have open conversations and learn things. So I would highly recommend it.
Is there anything any bit of advice that you, as a pastor, that you want to give to our listeners and viewers right now?
Find a spiritual community for yourself so that you can wrestle with all those things going on in your heart, either friends or a pastor.
Thank you so much for visiting with us. And Lauren, again, the Human Library is?
April 18th, 1 to 3 p.m. Go to dbrl.org/human-library.
To sign up for that.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank
Best
you.
of luck with it, all right? Something you'd like to hear or see, I'd love to hear from you. Drop me an email, pepperp@missouri.edu. Bye-bye.